what I've got in my hands right here is quite possibly the holy grail of amiibo right now. This is Super Mario cereal, and I decided to get a little experimental with my Super Mario cereal, and I made myself some Super Mario cereal cookies and some Super Mario cereal treats. I'm gonna taste test the cereal along with the treats and the cookies, and I might as well give you some recipes along the way, so if you get your hands on some Super Mario cereal, you'll know how to create these treats and cookies yourself. Sounds good to you? Sounds good to me. Cool. What's good, people? I'm Tuan X, and this is CrazyDopetastic. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe down below and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now, it was really hard to get my hands on this Super Mario cereal. I don't know if it was sold out or just nobody had it. Apparently some scalpers did, however. I know how they got their hands on it. You know, scalpers doing some scalping things. It was incredibly hard to find. At one point, they were charging the price of a game for some cereal. This cereal retails for $3, and they were charging like 60 bucks for it on eBay at one point. Eventually, it dropped to like 15, but even then, it's a $3 box of cereal. But eventually it landed in stores. ShopRite over here in the Northeast had a lot of them as well. So that's how I was able to get my hands on a few of them. Now, this isn't the first time Nintendo has released a cereal. Back in 1986, they released the Nintendo Cereal System, which is one of their first cereals ever.
Nintendo, it's for breakfast now. Nintendo, it's a cereal. Wow. Nintendo, Super Mario Jump. Nintendo, in a fruit flavored crunch. Nintendo, here's Zelda too. Nintendo, it's very good news. Nintendo, you just can't move. Nintendo Cereal System is a super part of this nutritious breakfast. Nintendo, 2 cereals in 1. Wow.
That cereal was on store shelves for about 3 years and became extremely hard to find. A couple years ago, they sold a box of it for like 200 bucks. 200 bucks for a box of cereal. I'm telling you, it's crazy out here. So this is the latest in the Nintendo brand of cereals. Check out the box, first of all. We got Mario on the front. He's got Cappy on his head. Of course, this is in reference to Super Mario Odyssey, which is the latest game in the Mario franchise. You can see the marshmallows right there. You got the little question mark joint. You got the mushroom. And you've got what I think is Cappy right there. And the oats are in the shape of a star, which is pretty cool. And you can see in fine print under Super Mario cereal, it says mixed berry cereal with marshmallows, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. I'm a big fan of this box art. It looks really dope. You got the map behind Mario. It looks really nice. It's very nice. Very nice. So it's a mixed berry cereal, which is different from what people compare it to, which is of course Lucky Charms. It pretty much kind of looks like a Lucky Charms ripoff, but it's mixed berry. Lucky Charms is not mixed berry. And on the back, you've got a bunch of games and whatnot. You can lead Mario through the maze. You can test yourself with some trivia questions. And on the back is where you'll actually scan for your amiibo. You see it says every Super Mario cereal box is an amiibo you can use to unlock special content to power up your Super Mario Odyssey adventure. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and try this cereal. I hope it's good. I've had some very bad cereal in the past. Go ahead and get my milk real quick. All right, so I got my spoon, got my bowl, got my cereal. Let's go ahead and fill this up. Oh. There we go. There's a lot more oats than there are marshmallows. It's kind of disappointing. It should never be this disproportionate. Not a good sign. Not a good sign so far. Let's go ahead and put some milk on it. Lactate, because I'm lactose intolerant, people. Yeah. Let's go ahead and taste this. Dab, 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 dab. All right. This is actually pretty good. The oats have their own little flavor to it, their own little sugary flavor. You definitely taste that mixed berry flavor. It's reminiscent of Lucky Charms, that's for sure. But if you eat a bowl side by side, you can definitely taste a difference in the flavor of the two. What I do like about this cereal though are the marshmallows. They break down very, very nicely. These right here break down similar to how Lucky Charms do. So I'm really digging this. I do wish there were more marshmallows though, like that would have added more to it. Otherwise, it tastes really, really good. So the cereal is good. I'm very, very happy about that because I decided to use the cereal to create a few recipes. As you saw in the title and thumbnail, we got ourselves some Super Mario cereal cookies and we've got some Super Mario cereal treats. Come on, let's start with these Super Mario cereal treats because they're actually the easiest ones to make. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do so you can do it for yourself. Okay, so this serves about 8 people, as you can see. probably a little bit more than 8 people. It'll take you about 15 minutes to make. All right, so first of all, you're gonna need 1 stick, which is about a half cup of unsalted butter. You're gonna need yourself a half a teaspoon of salt. You're also gonna need yourself 1 bag, about 16 ounces of mini marshmallows. You got the mini ones, not the big ones. You need the mini ones. And you need yourself about 1 box and a third of Super Mario cereal, so about 11.5 ounces. Now, of course, if you want to make less, if you don't want to make this whole mound like I made, you can go ahead and like cut those ingredients in half and have half the amount of that. All right, so first thing you're gonna want to do is grease a 9 by 13 inch pan with some cooking spray, and then you're gonna melt your butter in a low heat over a large pot. Now, once the butter has melted, you're gonna go ahead and stir in that salt and all those mini marshmallows, and you're gonna keep stirring that joint until it's all melted. Now, make sure that heat is low. Now, once the marshmallows have melted, make sure to turn off the heat, and then you're gonna stir in the cereal. Now, make sure you stir it gently because you don't want to crush the cereal. You don't want broken cereal parts in there. You want it to give it that look where you see all the stars and whatnot. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to pour all of that mixture into a pan and gently press everything down. Try to be as even as possible. If you press too hard, you'll end up with like hard marshmallow treats, which is no fun for anybody. And allow it to cool for about an hour before you cut it into squares, and you have yourself these nice little treats. And it's that simple. That's really the easiest one. It's that simple. All right, let's go ahead and taste this. Okay, I can dig it. This is pretty good. So here you got yourself a Super Mario cereal treat. I like it. All right, next up we have the Super Mario cereal cookies. This right here is a little more complex because you actually do gotta bake some stuff. This will take you about a half an hour to an hour to make. You're gonna need yourself about 2.5 cups of the Super Mario cereal, but take out the marshmallows. It's just the oats. And then you're gonna need yourself 1 cup of butter, which is about 2 sticks at room temperature. You're gonna need 1 cup, which is about 200 grams of granulated sugar. And then you're gonna need 3/4 of a cup, which is about 127 grams of brown sugar. You're gonna need yourself about 2 large eggs, 2 cups, about 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking soda. You're gonna need yourself 1 more tablespoon of salt. You're gonna need 1 cup to about 36 grams of marshmallows from the cereal. So you're gonna pick apart the marshmallows. And then you're gonna need yourself about a half a cup of white chocolate chips. And then you're gonna need yourself a separate half a cup of Super Mario cereal with no marshmallows, just the oats. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And you're gonna line some baking sheets with some parchment paper and whatnot. Next up, you can take yourself a food processor. I used myself the Magic Bullet, and I took the 2.5 cups of just the oats, and then I grinded those down into like a fine powder. Next up, what you're gonna do is you're gonna need yourself a stand mixer, and you're gonna put in all the butter and the brown and the white sugar until it's nice and smooth and fluffy and whatnot. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes. And then after that, you're gonna add the eggs in, and you're gonna beat that up until it's all combined. Now you're gonna add in the cereal powder, you're gonna add in the flour, you're gonna add in the baking soda, you're gonna add in the salt, and you're gonna mix all of that in a low, medium speed until it's all combined. Now after that's all combined, you're gonna take the marshmallows, you're gonna take the white chocolate chips, and you're gonna take that little half cup of cereal that I told you to have, and you're gonna pour all that in together, and you're gonna mix that with your hand. You're gonna try to mix that slowly. You don't wanna break apart things. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that cookie dough, you're gonna roll it into nice little spheres and whatnot, about a tablespoon size. You're gonna roll those up and place them on the parchment paper, and then you're gonna put it inside that oven for about 7.5 to 8 minutes. What you're gonna look for is it to be nice and puffed up and that the top is kind of dry. It's not gonna be spread out and flat like a cookie yet. So after that 7.5 minutes, you're gonna take it out of the oven and you're gonna let that joint rest, and eventually all that is gonna settle. And so after a few minutes, it's gonna be a nice, pretty cookie. Now if you want a little crispier and a little crunchier, keep it in for an extra minute and a half maybe, and you can repeat that as many times as you need until all that cookie dough is gone. With my recipe and the ingredients that I told you, you make yourself about 35 cookies. Now again, if you need less than that, if you don't want that many cookies, just pretty much do the math, cut whatever I said in half depending on how many cookies you want to make, and just follow that same process, and basically you'll have less cookies. And it's time for me to taste one of them. Look at this joint. Wow, this is dope. Of course, you got the marshmallows on the inside along with the white chocolate chips. One little bite. So that was good. And so that's it, people. That's how you make yourself some Super Mario cereal treats and some Super Mario cereal cookies. I hope some of you guys try this recipe too. And if you do, take a picture of it. Make sure to share it on Instagram and Twitter and tag me at CrazyDopetastic, and I will share it as well. Bro, those treats are good, but those cookies are delicious though. I'm proud of myself. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm proud of myself. Hey. Thank you for watching CrazyDopetastic. Make sure to leave a thumbs up below. I drop videos like this all the time. And join the Lunatics over on Patreon, where your support helps me make more content like this. Oh yeah, and remember to stay crazy. Peace!